Hi everyone, it's Carly from Project Heal, and today I'm doing a video blog here at Healing Conversations, the YouTube channel. Yesterday an article of mine went live on Still Standing magazine called Parenting After Loss, Handling Fear and Anxiety. And overnight I received a ton of feedback on the article. It was all positive. And I'm just feeling really overwhelmed at the moment with all the support from it, as I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted to do a video blog to go a little bit deeper into the article. I wanted to actually write a lot more, but I kind of feel if I write a ton, no one's going to read it because it's just too long and no one has the time. But since there was a lot of feedback on the article, I thought I would do this video blog for those who do have the time to watch it, and for those who the article resonated with. So today I'm just going to speak a little bit about something that I don't often speak about on my website or my Facebook page, and that's simply because I feel like if I speak about the anxiety that I suffer with being a parent after the loss of my son, I kind of feel like I don't know, I don't want to come across as complaining about how hard it is to be a parent, because I know that there are a lot of people out there on my Facebook page who support me, who don't have any children here to parent at all, and I don't want to rub that in their face by saying, you know, this is so hard, and because, you know, I'm the luckiest mama in the world. I have 3 beautiful children, and but the truth is that I do suffer with anxiety and fear, and it's not something that a lot of people know about me, probably because I come across as, you know, a strong and positive person, and, you know, I believe that I am that person, but I do suffer in some parts of my life with anxiety, and that all started back in 2006 when my first child was born, Scarlett. She was born after a 36-hour labour. We had a lot of problems with her. She had to go to a different hospital because she was unable to breathe on her own. She had a lot of breathing problems. And there was a time there where, you know, when she was born, everything seemed to be okay. She seemed to be happy, and she was settled with me. She was pink. But after about half an hour, I noticed that her little hands and feet were turning purple. And so I called the midwife in, and she said, look, she's probably just cold. We're going to take her down to special care and warm her up, and we'll bring her back to you. And then within about 10 or 15 minutes, I had the pediatrician come back in and say, I'm sorry, but Scarlett's not actually able to breathe on her own, and that's why she was turning purple. And that's when our world literally turned upside down to begin with. And they explained to me that she was too unwell to stay in the hospital that I was in, and that she would have to be transferred to Princess Margaret Hospital, which is the main children's hospital here in Perth, Western Australia. And so they told me that I could come down and see her before she left and come and say goodbye. And so we did that. They wheeled me down in the wheelchair. I wasn't able to walk because I was very unwell after her birth. And I remember just seeing her under the warmer, and she had tubes coming out of everywhere, and just seeing her little ribs shake. There was just tiny little like vibration on her back, and I asked the doctor, I said, is she going to be okay? And he didn't say yes. He said, look, we don't know what's going on right now, but we'll have a much better idea once she's down with the team at PMH. And for me, that was just saying, you know, that was when we were kind of suspended between two worlds of, is she going to live or is she going to die? And so the unknowing of what was going to happen to her was excruciating. And I think that kind of, I mean, it was the same thing when we found out that Christian was very unwell, and that he was going to die. Like, we were given that answer, that it was just a matter of time, and so we were kind of just waiting. And it's that waiting and the unknowing of when or what, which I find so incredibly tough to deal with. And that's why I suffer anxiety, because I just don't know what's going to happen in the future with my beautiful girls that I have here. And for me, like I wrote about how we went to this birthday party and how River choked at the birthday party. It was just a miracle that I found her in time, because she was at the front of the house. There was a lot of noise, and no one was at the front of the house. It was just, she had just gone out there. I don't know why. She had started choking earlier and just ran out because she was embarrassed and she didn't know what was happening. But you know, if I had have gotten there 2 minutes later, she would have died. I would have found her dead on the floor. And you know, just I can't keep thinking about that because it didn't happen, you know. But it's very difficult to deal with, and the knowledge that that could happen to her anywhere. She could do that at school. She could do that while she's being babysit by my parents. And the thought of me not being with her while she was going through something so frightening, and that is a horrible thing to deal with. And that's something that I also struggle with, is if something was to happen to my daughters, whether if they're not in my care and they were going to die and they died without me, that's just impossible to deal with. I never, you know, if something like that was going to happen to my children, I would want to be there with them. I would want to be holding their hand and telling them that it was going to be okay, and that we would always be together. So I think that's why I suffer anxiety a lot, is because I would never want something like that to happen and me not to be there with them. Sorry. Anyway, I really just wanted to do this video blog today because it's very easy for me to write and for my words to be taken a different way, or to be dramatized, or to come across as not what they are. And so I felt that if I did this video blog, you know, it might just help someone who's feeling the same, who suffers the same, who, you know, anyone out there who has trouble getting to sleep at night because you don't know what's going to happen in the morning with your children, or if they're going to be awake, or if they're going to be able to face the day. And yeah, I mean, for me, when I say goodbye to my children in the morning, all of them go to school now. And when I say goodbye to them, I mean it, you know, and I tell them that I love them, and I show them that I love them. I mean, my daughters know they're loved. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear from anyone if you've suffered through anxiety after the loss of one of your children or multiple children, and you know how you deal with it. And for me, I mean, I've sought help and I've been offered medication, and for me, I've chosen not to go down the road of medication. Not that I'm saying that that's a wrong road, but for me, I feel like if I take medication, I'm just masking the issue, and when I stop taking medication, it will, you know, all these problems are just going to come back. So I'm kind of prolonging it rather than healing it. And I know for me, I think for me personally, I have to become a more strong person spiritually, because I believe that's the only way I'm going to be able to get through it. But it's just so difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. You know, people say that there's no point in worrying if the problem is out of your control, because it's out of your control. So there's no point worrying about it. And if it's in your control, you don't need to worry about it. But it's such a hard thing to do. And you know, I just I wish I could do this video blog, and I wish I could just give you an answer on how to get through it. But instead, I'm reaching out to everyone and just saying, I'm here, I'm suffering. So I understand what you're going through, and I empathize with you. And if anyone has any idea or would like to share their own stories, please do that. Please leave me a comment on this video below or on Facebook where I post a link or on my website. I will post the link to my article just under this video, along with the my website address and my Facebook page address. But yeah, thank you for listening to my first video blog here at Healing Conversations. I'm sorry it's such a mess, but it's something that's very close to my heart, and I feel I have to speak about it, because if I don't, it's just going to get worse. And I want to heal this for me, and I want to try and help others to heal as well. So I feel that if we can open a line of communication here, and people can speak about their own experiences with anxiety and fear, then that's probably the best way that we can do it. So thank you for listening, and I wish you all lots of love, and I hope to do more video blogs. I find them easier than writing because I don't know, it just seems more natural to speak, and people can see exactly what you're saying when they're watching it. So wishing you all lots of love, and thank you so much for all the support on my article. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye.